Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are all doing well. I am here to make the video on how to make proposals for the project. So that project can be semester projects, that also known as mini projects or final year projects, that is also known as FIPs. Or if you're going to apply for any research grant, you have to make the proposal. So this video is especially for you if you are going to apply for your master's degree or PhD degree or even in your undergraduate studies. You need to make proposal in any stage of your studies. So hope this will help you. So many students actually worry what subheadings should be included in proposal and what should be the order of their headings. So this is the mention content that should be part of your proposal, and also the order should be like that is mentioned here. So talking about the subheadings, first should be the title page, and second should be your project summary, that is also known as executive summary, and third should be the list of content. So list of content should include all these mentioned subheadings, that is introduction, problem statement, aims and objective, methodology, project timeline, budget, conclusion, references, appendices. So all these subheading will comes under the list of content. So one thing is keep in your mind that this should be the order of all the subheadings. So talking about the title page will actually contain these main three things. That is the title of your project. If you are doing project individually, then you have to mention your name along with your roll number. But if you are doing your project in group, so you have to mention all the member of your group and along with your individual roll numbers. And then you have to mention the date at which you are going to submit your proposal. This is the title page. Next is project summary. Project summary is also known as the executive summary because this gives the concise or brief overview of your project. By reading the summary, one will be able to know main things of your project. So the summary should be like that. So this is a key point. We can say these are the high level overview or the key points of your project. So talking about the length will be one para. The summary will be in one para. So all these mentioned the three the question will be answered in your summary. That is, what is the significance of your project, or we can say what is the importance of your project. Second is what are the objectives of your project. Third is what will be the expected or possible outcome of your project. Also, we can say you will somehow tell in your summary how you are actually going to carry on your project. What is the approach to achieve those expected outcomes? So somehow you will mention the methodology in your project summary. So these three questions will be answered in your summary. Then next we have introduction. After summary, the main section is introduction. Introduction is somehow deep study or deep knowledge of your project that will give somehow a background study or history of your project. Uh, we can say this will actually set the platform that requires the implementation of your project. So in introduction, you have to answer these four questions. What is your project all about? Like you will introduce the project. So first you will actually introduce the project. What is your project? Then secondly, you will actually explore or tell about the background. What is the background of your project? That means literature review, or that we can say the related study of your project. Then you have to discuss about the motivation that actually caused your project to be implemented. Then you have to answer the problem that your project is going to solve. So these are all four important questions that you have to answer in the introduction. So talking about the length of the introduction, depends on the complexity of project. If your project is actually minor level, that is mini projects, then the introduction will be of uh, 2 or 3 paramex. But if your project is somehow complicated, then that can actually extend to the 1 or 2 pages. So that is all about introduction. Talking about the problem statement. As you have already somehow talked about the problem statement in your introduction, but also individually you have to mention about the problem, like in sentences, 3 or 4 sentences, you have to specify the clear problem you're going to address in this project. Then aims and objective, like after observing the problem, that this problem you are going to solve, you have to specify what is your big goal. We can say that as a objective you want to achieve, and after that you have to define in bullet points that to achieve that objective, what will be your aims. So you have to split your project in some small steps and bullet points. Those small steps will be what aims. So your aim should be actually smart. That means specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant and time bound. So this technique should be applied whenever you are actually writing the objectives by splitting your goal in the objectives. So you have to keep in mind the SMART technique. So this is all about the aims and objective. Then methodology section. In methodology section, you are going to explain how you are plan to approach and conduct the project. Like you will simply explain the working methodology of your project, that also include the details about research, experimentation, development methods. Or I can say in simple words, in methodology you will actually mention, you can also actually tell us about the components. What are the components you are going to use? So you can describe in briefly all those components separately, and then you can also actually give the working methodology by with the help of circuit, or with the help of block diagram. Also you can add one more thing, that is tools. The tools can be any software tool or any hardware tool in methodology section as well. So that is all about the methodology. Then we have the project timeline. Like obviously any project, that can be any mini project, that can be final year project, requires much time to actually implement. So the point or the time from where you are starting to work on the idea to actually finalize the idea, that on this idea you're going to work. So you will actually split that per time from the idea to the project completion into milestone, that this particular time you took to actually finalize the idea, and then this particular time you actually took to assemble or to actually collect the component, then this time you actually required to work on the project or implement the project, or for coding the project, then this particular time you actually required to make the report, or you can also say or presentation. So you have to actually split all that time into small milestone. Then we have budget. Like every project that can be either software or hardware based, you require some components that can be software or hardware components. So you have to estimate the cost, that is expected cost to implement that project. So you have to mention all the list of components, and to buy those components what cost you required, and finally you have to calculate the budget to implement that project. So you have to list down that here. In conclusion, you simply summarize the key points of your proposal. Like you can actually explain the importance of your project as well. Then in references, you have to actually list down all the references or resources from you actually took the help to make this proposal. That can be any website, that can be any report, that can be any YouTube channel link as well. So you have to list down all these in references section. In appendices, if you, let's suppose you think that anything that is too much important that should be included in this, that can't be able to part of any of these previous headings, so you can include that in this appendices section. So I hope this video is helpful you for you guys. Thank you so much.